Hello there, YouTube.
Devin here again. Very, very early in the morning here for me, but when you got some pretty good insomnia, you can't sleep a lot. So I figured I'd wait till it was reasonably about as cool as it could get in here, so I could turn my lights on and have them on for a while and shoot a few videos without dying a heat stroke. So here we are in nice, crisp, cool morning air. I got the window shut now, so we don't have to hear everyone. And we're going to do another hat video, and this one's on probably my favorite version of my favorite hat done by any country. As you know, I like Swiss stuff. And as you know, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, that I really like the M36 pattern of hat. Well, this is a Swiss M36 pattern of hat. It's made out of the awesome Swiss wool and has a lot of neat features that really make this, in my opinion, the best field hat ever fielded. Any M36 hat is basically the best field hat ever, in my opinion. And I don't know why more armies didn't adopt them and why a lot of armies got away from them. Well, I know why a lot of armies got away from them, and that's because they were very closely associated with the Nazis, unfortunately, and now they're pretty much non-existent. Now, the Swiss ones are actually quite rare outside of Switzerland and Europe. You could find them. They were on sale probably about 5-6 years ago. You could find them for pretty cheap, and there's a bunch of different versions, and I've got a couple different versions of them here. So we have here on the left is kind of a later period one. This one has the vent rivets in it still, and it has the aluminum painted buttons, which is this kind of weird thing that the Swiss did towards the end of World War II, where they cheapened their materials to save money, obviously, and this is one of those examples. It has two buttons. These two buttons here with Swiss crosses on them hold together these flaps, which unfolds this whole kind of assembly here, which will fold down and become a neck and like face protector. So if we undo these buttons here, I'll undo this one so you can see how everything works. Here, very well constructed. These Swiss ones are made out of some very, very thick 100% wool. So if we undo that, you can see this big neck flap here folds down to protect the back of your neck, and then you can button these up again here in the front underneath your chin, you know, or anything, or up above your chin, just to help keep some more wind and cold off your face, which is awesome. Because it's a very good hat for that, because you could use it both the summer and the winter, and it's bearable. Very, very neat. This hat influenced a lot of stuff. The whole design for the M36 field hat actually goes back to an Austro-Hungarian design, which I'll probably do a video on, because it started this whole genesis of this kind of hat, was the 1909 pattern Austro-Hungarian cap. They still use them. Some units do as their ceremonial hat. I know the mountain units do. The officer ceremonial hat is the 1909 field cap in stone gray, as was the World War I uniform. That's what they wear. But one thing I really don't like about the M36, not the M36, the M1909, is it has a leather bill, which can kind of cut into you and stuff. If you actually look at an original, and it was kind of revised through the war to be a little bit different, as they did cost-saving matters to make it more comfortable. But I like the soft bills on the M36 hats a lot better. So this is my really, really nice M36 hat. Now this is an earlier one, and you could tell by the buttons here. Now it has these kind of silvery brass buttons. They're slightly yellowish, but they're not 100% brass. They have another metal in them. I don't know what exactly, but this is a very Swiss thing. They have these weird kind of brass mixed metal buttons. This is an earlier one. It does not have the vent holes on the side, and this one has a cool Swiss Edelweiss on the left side, a really tiny one. So both these hats are in basically unused condition. I've had them for forever. This one is a size, well, it says 57, but it's overstamped 58, and it actually fits like a 58 much better. And this one is stamped 57 over a 56, and this one fits like a 57. So it's a little weird in that regard. Now this one, as you can see, has one kind of liner material. It's this herringbone cotton material as the sweatband, and it goes all the way up. And in the early ones, you can see it's actually two different cloths. So there's like the herringbone cotton for the sweatband, and then above that there's a thicker kind of cotton material as well. So, and the thicker kind of cotton material, the looser weave stuff up here, breathes better. So that's why this doesn't have any vent holes, is because this hat will breathe better than the other one. So, which is kind of an older design. In order to simplify this design during the war, they just threw some rivets in there and did the cloth all the way up. So I don't know why they just didn't put cloth in it. A lot of countries didn't issue these with sweatbands, or if they had sweatbands, they were kind of very narrow sweatbands or like leather sweatbands. These hats entered service with Switzerland in 1936. They were one of the first countries to kind of adopt it. Now, I hear a lot of people call these M43 pattern caps because the German army is obviously the most famous army in World War II, and they didn't adopt this style of cap until 1943. Unfortunately, that cap became associated with all of them, so you oftentimes see these called Swiss M43s when they really shouldn't be, because they were adopted long before that. So these are excellent hats. They served right through the 50s when they were kind of phased out by a different style of wool hat, which I will probably also do a video on that I have. They're absolutely fantastic, though. You can't really find a better hat. They're made out of that kind of cool Swiss gray-green wool, which is an awesome color. It actually works very well in a lot of different lighting environments and different conditions, as well as, you know, forested regions, mountainous regions. It works quite well because it tends to be one of those colors that the eye perceives more blue or gray or green based on the background that it's against, which is, I don't think the Swiss knew that at the time, because when they adopted this around like World War I times or just before World War I, it was basically better than their really bright colors that they were fielding, so, which was kind of a dark blue and stuff like that. So this is a better camouflage than that, but I don't think they knew that this kind of wool would do that back in the day. But it does, and it's a very high quality wool, as with everything in the Swiss make. It's unbelievably high quality. It's got piping all the way around it. It's, you know, for a hat, this is probably one of the most expensive to produce field hats of World War II, to be honest. But it was really well loved by its troops. So, and you see this style of hat kind of with more mountainous and countries that have seasons adopted across Europe for the most part. So it works quite well. And if you ever get the chance to have one, not even a Swiss one, but an M36 field cap, if you ever get the chance to use one and you start wearing it kind of regularly, you'll see why it's such a good hat. And it's very hard to beat. I probably have 140 different M36 caps, and these are easily my favorite, the Swiss ones. So expect to see a lot of videos on these coming up if you're interested. So, but that's kind of the general history of this hat. It's not very well known. There aren't really that many around anymore, unfortunately. But they're excellent hats. I can't stress that enough. Beyond excellent and versatile hats. Probably not so great for those of you that live in the South, or some of my subscribers for other countries that are a bit warmer, but for somebody like me who lives in a very temperate region of the planet, this is an excellent hat. So I'll be making some more videos today, and there's going to be, like I said, in just a few days here, like I said, the end of July, there's going to be a cutoff for a private video that I'm going to do. It's going to be a rather long and informative video. I haven't seen anything else like it on YouTube. I'm going to go way in depth on this, kind of like I did with the CG634 video on my channel, because it's one of the things that I know a ton of information about. You're going to get loads of history. It's probably going to be like half hour to an hour long, and it's going to be private. So the only way to get access to that is to go to the donations link on the about page of my channel, or in just the little donations tab on the banner. If you click on my little icon, and when you donate, just leave your email in the description and I will send you a link after I make the video. So there's only a handful of people that are going to get them, and I might not ever release this one to the public, actually. I've been kind of rethinking it. So that money is all going to go towards supporting the channel too. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, it'd be very nice for you guys to support the channel, because then I can get the ball rolling on some of these bigger projects to make better videos. So that would be absolutely fantastic. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.